Ever feel like you're just drowning in a sea of apps and tools, each one promising to be the key to like unlocking online income?
It is a lot, right? And then like try adding in the AI explosion on top of it all. It's definitely both exciting and overwhelming at the same time.
It really is, and that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive today, to cut through all that noise. We're getting to the good stuff, how artificial intelligence can actually really make you money online.
Think of this as like your AI business brainstorm. No hype needed. We're diving into the actual strategies people are already using right now.
Love it. Now, our source material kicks off with a few different methods that revolve around AI content creation. We're talking like blog posts that practically write themselves, YouTube scripts generated crazy fast, even social media captions that practically go viral on their own. Have you seen that?
Yeah, and it's not just about speed either. The really cool thing is how AI can help you tailor things like, let's say, your affiliate marketing campaigns. We're talking about getting hyper-targeted ads by analyzing tons of data.
Okay, so that's huge. No more spending hours agonizing over the perfect Instagram caption. Our source even mentioned that some of these AI tools can actually help with SEO, so your content can rank higher in search results.
Exactly. It's like having this whole team of invisible assistants working behind the scenes for you. And here's why that's so important. Content is king online, right? I don't care if you're an entrepreneur or freelancer or just have a side hustle, great content is everything.
It's true, but now it kind of feels like a more level playing field, don't you think? Like, AI makes those tools and strategies that used to only be for big companies accessible to everyone.
Yeah, it's democratizing access to opportunity, which is huge. Yeah, but that does raise a question. What about building entire businesses powered by AI? And I'm not just talking about using AI to just enhance what you're already doing either.
Oh, I see where you're going. Our source had a whole section on how people are creating like AI-powered chatbots for businesses.
Yeah.
And they're using platforms like, was it chatbot.com? Get this, you don't even need to be a coding whiz anymore.
It's crazy how much the landscape is changing, right? Like every business wants to get in on this whole AI revolution. But not everyone knows how to build those tools from scratch. That's where the opportunity is.
So if you know even just the basics of AI and you combine that with your own knowledge in a specific niche, that's a superpower. You could be the go-to AI consultant.
Oh.
And our source also mentioned using AI to like level up business analytics.
And don't even get me started on the whole world of AI-powered SaaS products. Like imagine building, say, a photo editing app, but instead of selling it one time, you have a monthly subscription that's SaaS. Software as a service.
And the beauty is you don't even have to be like a coding genius to do it.
Exactly. There are already tools and platforms that make this stuff, building these AI-powered apps, way more accessible than ever before.
It's like the Wild West of entrepreneurship again. But instead of panning for gold, we're mining for data.
And just like any gold rush, there are going to be people who strike it rich.
Yeah.
And, well, others. Let's just say it's definitely competitive.
Which is exactly why, like, having the right tools and strategies in place is so important. And speaking of tools, remember ClickUp, that project management platform we talked about?
Oh, yeah, ClickUp. Our source kept bringing up just how essential a good project management tool is for AI businesses, especially as things start scaling up.
So true. Can you break that down for anyone who hasn't experienced the magic of ClickUp yet? What is it, and how does it actually help you manage all the AI stuff?
So picture this. You're using one of those AI writing tools to create like a whole week's worth of social media content in an afternoon. ClickUp can actually integrate with a lot of those tools so that when your content's ready, it automatically creates tasks for you to review it, edit, schedule.
Hold on, so you're saying I don't have to manually copy and paste everything into a separate scheduling tool?
Exactly. No more platform hopping, losing drafts, or missing deadlines. ClickUp keeps everything organized.
Okay, game changer for sure. But what about people who are new to project management? Is ClickUp beginner friendly?
Totally.
Yeah.
That's one of the best things about it. It can be as basic or as complex as you need. Start simple, and as your business grows, you can add more features.
Love that, like having a virtual assistant that grows with you. But all this talk about organization, it's important, but not exactly the sexiest part of the AI revolution, right?
Let's get back to those mind-blowing money-making methods, like AI in art and design.
Yes, this is where things get really interesting. Our source mentions selling AI-generated art as NFTs, which, by the way, we should totally do a deep dive on.
Right. Imagine creating art with a few clicks and selling it as a digital asset with proof of ownership.
That sounds like something out of a movie, but it's real.
It is. And it's not just NFTs. AI is changing other art and design stuff too.
Like,
well, what about logo design? You don't have to hire a designer anymore. There are AI tools where you put in what you want, and it just generates like hundreds of options for you.
Wow, that's wild. And what about creating like marketing materials?
Same thing. AI can make you social media graphics, website banners, even entire presentations.
So instead of spending hours on design, I can just plug my ideas into an AI.
Exactly. And these tools are getting so good that designs can be just as good as something a human would make.
It's like having a personal design team at your fingertips. What about copyright stuff, though?
That's a great question. It's something people are still figuring out. The laws around AI-generated content are still catching up. Definitely something to be aware of.
Good point. Better to be safe. But even with that, the possibilities are just mind-blowing.
Totally. And it goes beyond visual art, too. AI is impacting creative fields like music and even writing.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Well, our source mentioned people using AI for transcription and translation.
Yeah, that I can get behind. I spend way too much time on transcription.
Imagine being able to transcribe like hours of audio in minutes or translate documents instantly.
Crazy. Like a team of superpowered assistants working round the clock.
Right. So many income streams open up. You could offer those services to businesses or even other creators.
Huge demand for that.
It's all about spotting the needs and using AI creatively to meet those needs. And the exciting thing is, the tech is always getting better.
What seems impossible today might be totally normal tomorrow.
Exactly. That's why you got to stay curious, keep learning, and experiment.
I'm right there with you. But it's easy to get caught up in the how of AI and forget about the why, you know?
We need to remember why we're exploring these tools. What do we want to achieve with them?
At the end of the day, these tools are supposed to help us reach our goals, make life a little easier.
And open up possibilities we never even thought of.
Perfectly said. But before we get lost in AI dreams, we should probably talk about the elephant in the room. You know, the downsides of all this.
Yeah, that's probably a conversation for another time.
You're right. We have explored a ton of really cool AI stuff today. It's like with any powerful tool, though, right? You got to think about the potential downsides, too. It seems like every other day there's a new headline about AI taking over the world, which, I'll be honest, freaks me out a little.
Those headlines are definitely attention-grabbing. Okay, but in reality, a sci-fi scenario where, like, AI becomes sentient, that's still just that, science fiction. Yeah. What we should be thinking about are the more practical concerns, like how AI might change the job market, potential biases, and making sure these tools are actually used for good.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack this a bit. Starting with the job market. If AI can automate stuff that humans used to do, where does that leave us as workers?
It's a tough one. There are a few different schools of thought. Some experts think that when AI takes over certain jobs, it'll actually create completely new types of jobs, like stuff we can't even imagine yet. Others are a bit more cautious, though, saying we need to be prepared for some jobs going away.
So either way, being adaptable and having the right skills is going to be even more important than it already is.
100%. Yeah. We need to be focusing on education and training programs that teach people those future-proof skills.
Absolutely. Education is key. Okay, what about those AI biases we hear so much about? Can you give me like a real-world example of how that could actually play out?
Okay, so imagine a company is using an AI tool to help them hire people. Sounds good, right?
Right.
But what if the data that was used to train that AI was, like, skewed? Let's say it reflected the hiring patterns from back when certain groups of people were shut out of certain industries. That AI could unintentionally keep those biases going.
So we'd be, like, accidentally repeating the past mistakes. We can't just assume these algorithms are totally objective.
Exactly. We still need humans to be thinking critically, questioning the results, and making sure things are fair. And of course, with any powerful tech, there's always the risk of it being used in bad ways, which is why it's so important to have ethical guidelines.
Makes sense. It's like that saying, with great power comes great responsibility. We all have to do our part to make sure AI is used ethically, not just governments and big tech companies, all of us.
I'm with you on that. We have this chance to shape how AI fits into our world. We need to be asking, how can we use this for good? How can we use it to solve problems, make things easier, create new and better possibilities?
Couldn't have said it better myself. Before we wrap up our AI deep dive, I want to leave everyone with a little something, a challenge of sorts.
I'm always up for a good challenge. What do you have in mind?
How about this take one small step, however small, towards exploring this AI stuff for yourself? Maybe play around with a free AI writing tool, or test out an AI art generator, Or do some research into those AI business ideas we talked about. Just dip your toes into the AI waters.
Love it. And remember, the world of AI is changing super fast. What seems complicated now might be easy in a few months. So embrace the learning curve, test things out, and hey, who knows, you might just find your next big thing.
And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into AI and online income. Thanks for joining us as we talked about AI art, chatbots, ethical stuff, the whole works. And of course, a big shout out to ClickUp for keeping us organized. Until next time, everyone, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep on diving deep.